What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. So this week, as normal, we're going to carry out our weekly market analysis on the tradable pairs which I currently trade. And yeah, essentially we're going to provide a bit of a breakdown and make this video sweet and short as usual, and provide a bit of an update of where the market is and what I am currently doing in the current situation of the economy. So just kind of giving a brief breakdown of where we are in terms of the market for gold. Currently, you can see that gold has made a weekly red candle close, and it seems to be quite interesting. Overall, I would say that local resistance that we have at 5600 has not been tapped into. Price is going towards that direction because I'm assuming there's some sort of liquidity within this region. So I would say it's an area of interest to look at. I've drawn some weekly support retracements, primarily being the 0.382 and the 618, and also a weekly fib expansion level. As we know, buyers are stepping in within that region, and dropping down to the daily time frame, you can see that the sharp sell-off we had in the start of February, the market decided to make a close and a sweep of liquidity within this region. Ever since then, we've been grinding up slowly. So the most important thing is, you hide everything and you simplify everything down. As a trader, that's the most important thing, and you keep things simple to your system and to your process. So on the daily time frame right now, I'm looking to see of what happens this week with respect to the overall price action. So on the 4 hourly time frame, as we drop down, you can see that the market has pushed up at the start, and this is where the war and escalation happened. I personally took profit at this level, as this is a local expansion level, OP level, you could say. So 53.44 was my take profit on a gold trade, and we hit that perfectly, which was a overall 2-hour trade. So that was great to hear overall. Now the most important thing is to look for where price is going to go next. So in the imminent shorter term, as I'm typically like to hold my positions as a swing trader, we have this local high that price made, and we rejected within this region, right? So yeah, we could say this is an objective point and an area of interest if price does go back up to it. Indication of sellers between 5600 and 5400 potentially. Now the most important thing is that we look to see where the market is going, and currently you have one local low and a push, a retracement of a higher low, and then a lower high, an internal lower high, and then a higher low. Break of structure, made a new high, again made another break of structure, a new local high, higher low pullback, and now we're waiting to see in the imminent shorter terms that if we break this level and push up, this is probably an area of interest for me to go long within this region of what happens in tonight's open. And essentially the most important area I'm looking at is 5200 for potential sellers to show up within this region. So essentially, we know that buyers are stepping up within this area of interest, and I've also confirmed this with a fixed range volume profile, just to get a clear indication of where the market is heading, more specifically on gold. And you can see this when I do this, that currently prices attracting liquidity above this level. So the white line indicates a point of control, and the red line is a value area high. So essentially, if price gets above this region, I'll be looking out to see if we can take any positions to the upside and hopefully trade it back up to somewhere within this region if price does go back up to there. If not, and if we reject somewhere at 5,200 to 5,400, then I'll just be waiting out and see what's going to happen overall. So overall, that is my bias for gold currently. So I'll just literally right here as a reference point for me is wait for price to come to an area of interest within the alert marked and see what the overall price action entails. That's the most important thing as a trader, that you wait for the market to come to you. You do not chase the opportunities. Moving down to silver on the weekly time frame. So we've got the daily, weekly time frame on the weekly fib, which is your first reaction point, as these reaction points across these high lows never really held. From doing my overall analysis, this level was an area of interest, and then dropping down to the daily time frame, we had the sharp rejection, like similar to gold, and currently on the 4 hourly, overall this higher time frame bias, like when I look at this internally, right, when you see a market move, you need to be able to identify what stage it's at. And currently, at the moment, this is just chop, right? We don't have trending price action. Trending price action will be whenever we break this low or we break this high up here. So in the imminent shorter term, I don't have any interest in trading silver, though I do have a local fib level as an area of interest. But currently the market for silver is just consolidating, and even on the hourly it's chopping around. It's not really trending too much, not really providing good setups. They're very volatile setups, because if you take a short position somewhere around this range, then you've got a very high stop loss. And the key important thing is, even as a trader, that if you're testing live with your own capital, is that you keep your risk tight regardless of whatever setup presents, and you grade your setups of how the market presents the opportunities. So currently I haven't got anything for silver in the imminent shorter term. So we're moving down onto EURUSD on the monthly time frame. So you could say the market currently is trending on the monthly. We seem to be above the EMAs on the monthly at least, but on the daily, on the weekly, we are testing a 25 by 5 moving average. So the important thing is now, we've got liquidity sat here, and currently price is looking like it wants to push back down. And on the daily time frame, you could see that there's an overall, you could say, rejection, and this rejection kind of initially bounced here from this high low, and the market is currently pushing down, and you can see it's in an overall downtrend on the daily. We had this break of structure which occurred and then got sold into, and overall, if you were trading EURUSD last week, you had a lot of opportunities to get in. And the reason why I say this is, this area was an area of interest to sell. This area was an area of interest to sell. This area was an area of interest to sell. You could have sold and had 3 entries within this region, and then you're taking in all of this price action from that move, and that's over 200 pips worth of price action. You keep your risk tight on that trade. You look for something like this above the moving average, so it's 0.5% risk, and your risk to reward is perfect. It's a 1 to 3 as shown here on my screen. So setups like this do come, but the important thing is that you look viciously and regularly and understand what way and where the market is currently going. So in the imminent shorter term, I would say to keep an eye on where the market is going to go, I would put a local expansion level as an area of interest. And we've broken down to the OP level here. And currently we haven't tested this XOP extension, which is the 1618. Now, currently, if the market does continue to sell off and breaks this low, then I would be looking to see where it would tap in here on the daily, and potentially on the hourly, because where we had this breaker structure, this was an area of retest. So this could be an area of interest for me if it does tap in and that selling volume does push it further down, because that would be a sell of this break of structure which occurred. So a sell and then a retest. So yeah, that's what I'll be looking on for euro. And currently on Bitcoin, I do have a long-term position currently holding on Bitcoin. It's a very long-term overall position, as you can see. Currently, I would say the most important thing for Bitcoin is, yes, it's currently testing on the monthly, the EMA, and yeah, we've closed below it. So you could technically say we've disrespected the trend and this EMA on the monthly time frame. And just for reference, this 3x3 displaced moving average is obviously showing a sharp sell-off there. So dropping down to the weekly time frame, I would say I had a level marked which was key zone. I believe it was 57. 57 is an area of support. 57 to 52 could be an area of support. I've got my stop at 49, so we'll kind of see what happens with this kind of trade. And ultimately, my aim is just to DCA into Bitcoin if there are any opportunities. But currently, it doesn't seem to be moving much. I mean, we had an initial push at the start of March, but it's just been sold into essentially. So yeah, moving forward,